Is it okay to be barefoot in public? A balanced perspective. Walking barefoot in public sparks a lively debate, and for good reason. While many consider shoes essential for hygiene, safety, and etiquette, others view slipping off their shoes as a reclaimed freedom or an act of comfort. Here's my take, drawing from societal norms, practical concerns, and personal choice. Being barefoot isn't against the law. First, let's clear up a common misconception. Walking barefoot in public is not illegal. Some people assume government regulations restrict this practice, but there are no overarching laws prohibiting bare feet in public spaces. The no shoes, no service policy found in many restaurants, stores, and businesses is actually a private rule, typically introduced to minimize liability and enhance the customer experience. For instance, as outlined in Vanessa Friedman's discussion in the New York Times, private establishments enforce dress codes, in this case, footwear policies, to mitigate risks like slips, cuts, or hygiene concerns. While these bans dominate many spaces, stepping outside shoeless onto a sunny beach or grassy park is entirely your call. The safe zones for bare feet. Where you choose to roam barefoot makes a difference. Beaches, pools, and private areas tend to welcome exposed feet without much judgment. Meanwhile, venturing barefoot into city streets, restaurants, or offices invites safety risks and potential social scrutiny. Situations where it's okay to go barefoot. Beaches and pools designed for bare feet. These places are made for sandy toes and splashing water. Parks or gardens, walking barefoot on grass has its benefits like grounding, connecting physically with nature, which some studies suggest can reduce stress. Casual community events, farmers markets, outdoor picnics, or yoga in the park may not raise many eyebrows if you're sans shoes, where caution is key. Urban streets, broken glass, sharp rocks, bacteria, and even hot pavement can turn a dreamy shoeless walk into an unpleasant experience. Indoor businesses, most grocery stores, restaurants, and even public transit systems expect or require footwear for hygiene and liability reasons. Industrial or hazardous areas, workplaces and zones with heavy equipment often mandate footwear. By law, think steel-toed boots. The hygiene question. One major counter-argument comes down to germs. City sidewalks and heavily trafficked public areas are splattered with, well, everything. Without shoes, your feet come into direct contact with unseen bacteria or chemicals that might pose health risks. Not to mention the challenge of keeping your feet clean. That said, it isn't all doom and gloom. For healthy individuals without cuts or compromised immunity, walking barefoot occasionally doesn't necessarily carry significant risks. The bottom line, be mindful of where you tread. You wouldn't walk barefoot in a public restroom, so extend that caution elsewhere. Bare feet and social norms. Beyond the practicality, there's the question of etiquette. Social conventions around footwear are deeply ingrained in Western culture. Shoes represent a basic part of our wardrobe, much like wearing pants in public. While Angelina Jolie's infamous barefoot appearance on The Tonight Show broke barriers and added drama to her look, don't expect to waltz into your local cafe without shoes and receive the same reception. Keeping societal norms in mind reminds us that this debate isn't just about comfort, but about considering the comfort of others, particularly in settings like shared dining spaces or professional environments. A case for respectful barefoot freedom. Walking barefoot is more than a practical choice for some, it's symbolic. Many find it relaxing, freeing, and even spiritually grounding. Advocates often point to reduced muscle strain and better posture. Additionally, walking barefoot connects you to nature in a unique, tactile way. Still, the key here is balance. Venture barefoot in appropriate, safe locations where it's culturally and contextually suitable. Respect the rules of businesses and other people's comfort just as much as your own. Final thoughts. Is it okay to be barefoot in public? The short answer is yes, with caution. Consider where you're walking, the potential risks, and the expectations of the spaces you enter. Celebrate the freedom of bare feet in the right environment, but don't neglect safety and societal standards. What's your take? When do you think it's okay to kick off your shoes? Share your thoughts below and engage in this conversation. After all, whether you prefer shoes or not, understanding different perspectives might help us tread the fine line between comfort and courtesy.